Yesterday's and today's gospel, my dear sisters and brothers, speak about hypocrisy. I hope that Father Paul yesterday gave you a reflection on this hypocrisy. So today, let us reflect on the second letter of St. Paul to the Thessalonians, especially about work. Let me start with this quotation. If anyone was unwilling to work, neither should that one eat. St. Paul addressed this to the Thessalonians, dealing with a particular issue facing early Christian society. Some Christians had given up their jobs because they mistakenly believed that the end of the world was imminent. Paul rejected this careless conduct. He stated that people's faith did not free them from their daily responsibilities and work. Paul explained that working was a natural aspect of being a Christian. It is a means of providing for oneself without burdening others. The meaning of labor, my dear sisters and brothers, has drastically shifted from that of an ancient context in modern life. Today, labor or work is about identity, social status, and personal fulfillment in addition to personal survival. Our economy is complex, global, and heavily dependent on market forces and technology. There are plenty of individuals who are willing to work, but unfortunately, there are just no jobs. Lack of opportunity and structural unemployment are the current problems, not laziness. It presents a practical and moral dilemma for society. The straightforward maxim, no work, no eat, becomes harsh and unfair when someone is ready to work but cannot find a job. It penalizes people for uncontrollable events like industry shifts or economic downturns. Governments, corporations, and communities must work together to solve this issue. From a Catholic spiritual standpoint, labor or work is much more than just a way to earn money. To work is part of God's own creative activity in the world, so people work to improve their skills, help their neighbors, and develop society, working together with God, who is creating. Because it allows individuals to work together with God's purpose for creation, work carries a great deal of dignity. Work has a holy worth that transcends just economic need. The Catholic Church highlights that a person's worth is independent of their working status for the unemployed. A person can still engage in volunteer work, family life, and prayer if they are unemployed. The Church also supports measures that encourage job creation and fair wages. Additionally, it encourages believers, all Christians, to donate to non-profits to provide food and other essential for the unemployed. We in this parish also provide us to help those who live in poverty by sharing food to the homeless people and other charitable works. My dear sisters and brothers, St. Paul's teachings about work or labor must be interpreted with compassion and common sense. His caution was not aimed at genuine poverty or involuntary unemployment, but rather at genuine poverty, at deliberate idleness. In the modern context, The focus has shifted from evaluating people to repairing dysfunctional systems. The goal is to build a society that upholds the dignity of all people. This approach respects the letter and spirit of Paul's teachings, that we need to approach his teachings in a real context and a new meaning. In conclusion, my dear sisters and brothers, the reflection on work in Paul's time and today reveals both continuity and change. We need to continue practicing what St. Paul teaches us, but we need also to consider the changes in our society. The spiritual value of work remains, but the context is now different, more complex and demanding. The Catholic Church responds by defending the dignity of every worker and the rights of the unemployed. It calls for a society that provides opportunity and support, ensuring that no willing person is left without the means to live. In this way, the ancient wisdom of Scriptures is applied with mercy and justice to the challenges of modern world. My dear sisters and brothers, we are grateful if we have jobs. We are grateful if we have retired, meaning that we have worked hard. But we need to remember also those people who now struggling, finding a new job for their lives. So now let us pray for them in these Eucharistic celebrations, that God will provide them jobs they need.